Hey guys, what is going on? This is the GTA Wise Guy and welcome back to another GTA 5 video. So in this one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at the Savestra. So I'll spawn it in a second. Obviously we're on PC, you guys can see the 6-star gauntlet that we've got here. And talking of modded cars, what I'm going to be doing for this next car is I'm actually going to be doing a modded build for it. And I'm probably going to be doing a Banshee swapped with the Savestra. So I'll put a picture up on screen now of an RX-7 swapped with an RX-3. So thinking of the Banshee, it's pretty much an RX-7 crossed with a Viper, and I'm pretty much just going to put the front end of the Savestra on the Banshee. At least I'm going to try to. Now, I've just spawned in the Savestra and the normal Banshee. Now, some of you guys might be triggered because you think it looks like a Viper, but it is a Viper crossed with an actual RX-7. Now, some of you guys might have seen the Rocket Bunny RX-7 with an RX-3 front end, which is what the Savestra is. It is pretty much an RX-3, although it is an Anis, which is based off of Nissan. I don't think there's actually a brand for Mazda in the game yet, because I don't think there's too many Mazdas in it. And the actual Vulcar Warrener, which is actually supposed to be the C10 Skyline, isn't actually an Anis. So whether this is supposed to take some inspiration from the C10 Skyline as well, we'll find out when we take it to the mod shop. But anyway, if you guys would like to see this front end of the Savestra thrown onto the Banshee, maybe you'd like to see that and we'll do like an RX-7, RX-3 style Rocket Bunny kit for it. Let me know down in the comment section, and if this video can hit, let's say, 1,000 likes, I'll go and create that. I'll go and 3D model it. So I hate to be one of those guys that says, oh, like the video if you want to see this, blah, blah, blah. But it is just an indication if you guys do actually want me to go and do that. Now, without further ado, we'll go and take the Savestra into, we'll take it to Benny's. But for now, we'll just take a look at it, drive it around stock and see what it's like. So it does actually have a wide body kit on stock. And now Rockstar do have the problem of not being able to change fitment while the car's actually in the game unless they create an entirely new model, which is probably why this car has got the actual fenders on stock, which is why the Banshee and the Banshee 900R are two separate cars as well. We can also see we've got some classic mirrors on the front. We've got those circular lights, which are similar to the RX-3, and obviously it does look quite similar to the C10 Skyline. A lot of you guys have been getting mixed up. You could probably pass it for being both, but the back end, it pretty much is a Mazda RX-3. Now you can already see as well, if we look on the interior of the car, I've already got bucket seats in it, which is pretty cool. So it's pretty much saying like, look, this is a race car. You're going to be able to turn it into a race car sort of thing. Now, obviously this isn't a Benny's car. We'll just go into Benny's for the sake of it looking pretty rather than the grubby LS Customs. But without further ado, let's get into the customization. Obviously, I'm going to lower it, see what it's like for drifting and actual drag racing as well a little later on, see how quick it is. Right, so first things first, we've got the bumper. Now, for some reason, mirrors comes under bumpers, so we'll take a look at that in a minute. We've got the primary splitter, which is just like a little bolt-on race splitter, kind of retro. I do kind of like that. I suppose it's sort of like the Rocket Bunny splitter that we get on the actual RX-3 and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. We've got a lightweight bumper, which pretty much just removes the chrome bar on the front and puts like a plastic black one. So I suppose if you wanted to go for that rustic, pretty much bone stock look and not restored with that chrome bumper, or you can remove it completely. That looks kind of race car, looks pretty cool. We've got the capped removed bumper, so that is quite a lot of detail that Rockstar have put in there. They've pretty much got those holes there, and then you can put the caps on the holes. You can still see the little indents on the bumper. That's quite a lot of detail. I do quite like that. And then we've just got a mixture of a few of them, as it looks like. Oh, we've got capped indicators as well, so it removes them. Secondary capped indicators, so that is obviously the secondary color. Removed bumper with splitters, so it's pretty much just a combination of all the different ones. So quite a lot of options there from Rockstar. I'm quite happy about that. But I think what we're going to do is, oh, we've also got a tow hook there as well on that splitter. I don't want a tow hook, and I think I quite like to keep the indicators, but I want a splitter with a colored bumper. So yeah, the primary bumper with the splitter is going to be the one that I go for. The mirrors, we can change them about. So we've got stock ones, chrome mirrors, no mirrors at all. That's a pretty interesting touch. Chrome classic ones, lightweight mirrors on the front. I don't see what. So I have like a shiny black plastic, or they're just like rustic ones. The chrome classic mirrors are quite nice, but I'm just going to go with the chrome mirrors on the front. I'm going to go with the. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the chrome mirrors on the front. The rear bumper, we've got a lightweight bumper, which is again is just removing the chrome off of it. We've got the removed bumper, so you've even got those caps there again, and then capped. Primary bumper, chrome bumper, so that actually changes the actual backing plate around the lights there as well. And notice those lights are pretty cool. The textures on it are pretty nice as well. It does look pretty flat, but nonetheless, I do quite like that chrome at the back. But I also, oh, that touring bumper. So I imagine we're going to get some sort of like retro racer kit to go with this as well to match that. And I've just noticed the exhaust. It actually sounds quite raspy and cool. So the idle on this car does sound pretty sick. What I would like is that chrome backing plate at the back without the chrome bumper, but it looks like we're not going to be able to do that. So we'll throw the touring bumper on for now. Wheels. The wheels stock are actually like those Fujiwara ones that we can get, or the Watanabe ones, which are based off in real life. I would like to keep those stock. Can we change the color of them? And we can. So I'm probably going to keep these stock. We'll change the color in a minute. Right, do we have yellow light? We do have yellow light stock. Those middle lights, I presume they'll come on with the full beams, or you might remove them as part of something else, like a headlight duct or something. For now, I think we'll throw on a purple. We'll go like a bozo color, and the secondary color will go with purple as well. Because the RX-7 that I've seen in the renders, I'm not sure if it's actually... Now, I know Mad Mike actually has an RX-7 with an RX-3 front end swap, and I think it's a quad rotor, like a 4-rotor motor in it. So we're going to try and make it look as much as a Rocket Bunny as we can. These stock fenders, I'm not sure what they're supposed to be. I presume they're supposed to be like Rocket Bunny or something, and possibly Liberty Walk. Hopefully we can change those in a sec. Chassis, we've got a normal roll cage. It looks different from the normal roll cages that we get in other cars. It looks quite slim, the actual bars in it, which is pretty cool. We can put a luggage rack on the top. Yeah, so we can have a cage and a rack. Lightweight louvers, that looks pretty cool. We can have primary colored louvers. I'm kind of liking the look of that. Race spec, which has got the cage and the louvers. And we can have the rack and the louvers, and we can have rally spec, which is literally the louvers, the roof rack, and the cage as well. So just a different combination of those three sort of things. But I think I'm just going to go for primary louvers on this. The exhaust. These look pretty cool. Big bore one, Shakatan. Of course, I've got to have that one. Yeah, I suppose you could do a pretty cool bozo build of this. Dual exit and rally exhaust. I'm going to go with the rally exhaust, which looks pretty nice. The rally exhaust as well, you can see like the welds on the end of it. That looks pretty cool. The fenders, so we can have skinny fenders. So they're just like ones that pop off a bit more and they're not as like creased in towards the top. I kind of like the look of those ones. Lightweight skinny fenders, so they look quite a bit like rustic. We can have primary wide body fenders. So they're sort of like Pandem style, like Pandem Rocket Bunny, the way they come out like that. A bit more retro looking. We can have rounded, so they're like the Liberty Walk ones, I'm pretty sure. And we can have GT fenders. So that's sort of like a bozo, like retro rally style kit. So I might do a build of that in a sec. But I think we're going to go for the Liberty Walk kit. We're going to make it look as Liberty Walk as possible. Now I presume you'll be able to make those like a secondary color. Alright, onto the grille. So you can have a chrome open grille. I do quite like the look of that. But not sort of like the look we're going for at the minute. We're not going for clean and classic. We're going for got like a racy build. Vented grille looks pretty cool. Chrome vented. Full chrome. Lightweight grille. So that's why we can remove those middle ones here and why they don't actually come on, because they are removable. I presume they are like extra fog lamp sort of ones, like full beams. We've got lightweight. Chrome encased fog lights. That looks pretty cool. That looks kind of weird. But whatever. Chrome lights and intakes. That looks pretty cool as well. They're the primary color of the car. I presume they're going to be secondary. Or we've got lights and intakes the intakes are chrome this time. Grille spoiler. And we've got just like full intakes. That's just like full race car. And we can have fully blacked out like... now the thing I want is like that blacked out look, but without the intakes. So I want the lights with that blacked out look. And unfortunately we can't do that, which is kind of annoying. That's really annoying. Now I believe you can get a hood with like turbos that pop out the top, so I'm not going to go with the intakes on the headlights because that would not make sense. It would only make sense if there were turbos behind those intakes, but if they're on the hood, you're not going to want intakes on the front there. So I think we're going to go with the grille spoiler. Why it's called the grille spoiler, I don't know. Oh, because it's got like a little lip that goes over the top. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're going to leave it like that. The hood, Now obviously the Liberty Walk RX3 still has all 4 lights, but I'm just going to leave it like that for now. Secondary HUD, obviously that's just a secondary colour. But actually before we do that, we're going to change the secondary to black. There we are. That looks more like the Liberty Walk colour car. And we'll change the primary colour to yellow. Now if you haven't seen the Liberty Walk car, you'll probably think this is disgusting, but it does take a while to grow on you. I think it looks pretty cool. Slammed. The fitment is okay when it's lowered fully. Okay, onto the hood. Vented. Side vented. They look pretty cool. They've got like little bolts on them as well. Secondary side vented. And there we are, the exposed turbos. And the spinning as well. So you guys might have noticed from my Climb Corner video that I did actually make the V2 tamper that I created just before this, not long before this come out. It does actually have working spinning turbos on it, which I'll show you guys in a second. The Rockstar have copied me. I've called it. No, I'm only messing. They've probably had this in the works for a while, and it's just coincidence that we've both made 2 cars that have got spinning turbos working on them. And I presume that's literally just a spinning texture, which is what I've done with mine. It's not an actual 3D model. Well, obviously it's the 3D model plane with just a spinning texture on it, which is exactly what I think Rockstar have done. I think they've got an upgraded turbo model on there as well. Like, it's a lot more rounded off. It's not as sharp as the one that I've got on the Tampa, which is just reused from the faction. But obviously with it sticking out the hood, it does need more detail on it. Livery, got a yellow stripe. Can't see that one because of the secondary colour on that thingy there. Got Anis. And there we are. We've actually got the Liberty Walk livery for it, which is awesome. I'll need to change that pearlescent on the yellow in a sec. We've got Spenders. That's sort of like a retro rally kit, as far as I can tell. Sort of like a retro looking style one there as well, like a retro sponsor. More retro stuff. Another racing one. Obviously you've got to have a Pisswas livery in there, and there we are. So obviously I'm going to keep the green one. Just going to mounted machine guns. Oh my god. Now on my last stream when I was talking about what mod you should do for the Intruder, I had Tasty Builder suggest that I actually do put some machine guns on it. So that's a pretty cool mod. I'm going to have to look at this for the Intruder as well, to have them as a mod piece rather than just on the car. I'm probably going to leave those off though. I might put them on later to see what they're like. So we've got a low ducktail. That's just sort of like a... I presume the RX3 sometimes comes with a spoiler like this. It looks pretty stock. Or at least it looks like the one that you would get on a C10 Skyline. So that might be why that's there. We've got the high ducktail. Bolt-on ducktail. Now the Liberty Walk one doesn't have too much of an eccentric ducktail, but not one as slim as that one. So we're going to go with that bolt-on ducktail for now, unless we can get a better one. We've got normal generic GTA spoilers that are popping up. That one's a new one, it looks like. Primary race spoiler. I suppose that would look pretty cool on like a Bozo build. We've got a touring spoiler, which is like a chassis mount one. And then we've got the big wang. Black Panther's going to be happy with that one. It's literally called Big Wang, and that is a big ass wang. Right. We're not going to put that on. We might put that one on for a laugh on another build in a sec. Suspension. We've sorted that out. Now that's kind of annoying. We've already got turbos on it, but we've still got to put a turbo upgrade on it. Right. So we'll put like a light smoke on the windows, and I think we're done. Change the wheel colour now to finish off the Liberty Walk style build. There we are. But with the mirrors, we're going to have to change that back to Chrome Classic mirrors. Alright, so I've just adjusted the paint, and there we are. I've got our little Liberty Walk build. Obviously, there's some changes to it. It's not just a complete rip. So it's fully upgraded. Let's take it for a spin, and then I'll just do some other quick builds and show you guys what I've done with them. Now, the one thing I'm annoyed about is it doesn't sound exactly like a rotary. Sounds a bit raspy. But obviously it's not a rotary, and before we let's check see if it does have a rotary. Let's pop the bonnet on it. Right, moment of truth. Does it have a rotary? Oh, it's popped up the wrong way. No, it doesn't. Right, let's take a look and see what it's like. Alright, so obviously the turbos don't spin when it's not running, which makes sense. You can literally see it just looks like a flat texture. I'll get my car. I'll spawn my Tampa V2 that I created a while ago. I'll show you guys how similar it is. it uses the manifold off the faction custom, I believe. Obviously it goes into that side of the car on the intake, and you got the exhaust on that side. The exhaust look pretty crap. Obviously it just looks like a twin cam, like 4-cylinder. Got the 4 pipes there, so obviously it is a 4-cylinder. And they've got that crappy texture underneath, and they haven't really fleshed out the engine, which is a bit of a shame with all that turbo work they've done to it. Looks pretty cool. Could have gone all out with the rest of the motor, but unfortunately they haven't. So what I might do with the RX-7, the RX-3 and Banshee crossover, or Savestra and Banshee crossover, I should say, is I'll probably do like a 4-rotor and just drop it in there, like a custom 3D 4-rotor, and possibly do something with the audio, if I kind of never really done audio stuff before, so whether I can or not, I'm not sure, but I'll give it a go. And something else as well, like the exhaust side of the turbo, like why is that painted? Like, I don't think that the exhaust on the turbo should be painted like that. It should just be like either chrome or more of like the exhausty color that you've got on these ones coming out of the actual cylinders there. That's kind of annoying. But anyway, let's spawn the Tampa V2 and see how similar the turbos are. Now, just to get this working properly, I'm going to lower the hood and spawn a character inside this car so it still runs. Right, so there we are. Oh shit. We've got the 2 of them lined up. Obviously only one of them works for me. For some reason the vehicle tracking material that I need to use to get that spinning turbo to work only works on one side of the car. So unfortunately only one of them works. So alright, so let's take a look closely at the turbo. If it focuses. So there's my one. And let's take a look at Rockstar's one. Who's done a better job? Let me know down in the comment section. I think Rockstar's one looks a bit flat. The reason behind that, there's probably some like performance reason behind why it's so like it's just like grey and then black. There's no like fading out on my one. Obviously you can see how my texture works on that. Now it looks kind of 3D with the way I've done a gradient on each like bits of the turbine. That could have performance issues. Obviously I can't see the background of the game and see how it's performing with the different textures, but I presume that it's Rockstar's is kind of flat like that for performance reasons. But regardless, taking a look at the turbos, or you can see how like sharp the edges on mine are. I've literally just recycled that from the faction. You can literally see where like the cylinder of the turbo like starts to get a bit jaggedy on the edges. But if we look at the new turbo that Rockstar have modeled, it is nice and smooth. So I'm probably going to rip this one if I ever use a new turbo again, or I might create my own for whatever reason that I need to. But yeah, let me know in the comment section who done it better. Rockstar have got points for the actual nice new turbo model, but I'd say that I've probably done the texture for the spinning turbo a little bit better. But obviously again, it could be down to performance why they've gone with such a flat texture for it and not done the actual gradients and stuff. Anyway, that's something as well. Obviously, I've got the hood exhausts. It would have been cool for Rockstar to have done something like that, but anyway, that is pretty much it for comparing the two cars. So without further ado, let's get on to building some different versions of the car. So, you're probably thinking, what the fuck has he done to it? Now, obviously, this is supposed to be a Bozo Zoku build. We've got the Shakatan exhaust on there as well. We've got the big wang. We've got some ridiculous colours. And we've got the retro racer kit on it, just to complete that mad Bozo Zoku look. Now, to finish it off, we've got to put some mad stance on it. So we're going to use the V-Stancer mod to do that. There we are. This looks completely ridiculous. Now, it's a shame you can't do this in GT Online. Obviously, I'm using a mod to do that. I'll leave a link to it in the description if you guys want to use it and you're on PC. But there we are, I've got a ridiculous Bozo Zoku build. Now, to me this is right, but if you're into that stuff, you're into that stuff, whatever, I'm not going to judge you for it. But yeah, let's move on to the next build. Now, obviously we've got those two mad builds, but finally we've gone and got just a normal, nice, clean build. So we've got a bolt-on ducktail, we've even got a roof rack, a roll cage in this one to add a little bit of a racing touch to it. But it's got the secondary fenders, not the normal ones that curve up back to the top. It's got chrome grille, chrome bumper, chrome rear bits as well. And I think it's turned out quite well in some Dash VIP sport wheels. So obviously you can go for these Mad Liberty Walk or Bozo Zoku builds if you want, or you can keep it nice and clean. So I think Rockstar have done a really good job with this car. There could have been a few more things to it as well. Kind of annoyed about the textures on the turbos, but regardless, I'm glad that they've put it in. And yeah, let's go and see what it's like to actually stance this car. I'm not going to use the V-Stancer mod like I did with the Bozo one. And then we'll see if it can drift and what it's like in actual drag races as well. Now, first off, before we go and lower it, we'll just try and launch it. Can we do a perfect launch? We can't. Can we mid-drive speed boost? I don't know if I missed it there. We'll try again. Now, it does actually do a mid-drive speed boost. There was a little wheel spin there. So you can double clutch it, mid-drive speed boost, whatever you want to call it. So there we are. It does get a bit of a boost. It is pretty rapid off the dot, but we'll try and lower it. Fuck. Well, that didn't work. Hopefully that doesn't happen online, but normally I can lower it in single player if it does lower, but I'm not sure you're going to be able to lower it online if it is blowing up that quick. Now, the only reason I haven't bought it online is because I'm poor in GT Online. It takes a long time to grind for some money. So, unfortunately, I don't have a lot of money in GT Online, and it is 990k this car. So, it is pretty much $1 million. Obviously, you've got to take in account for all the mod prices as well. Obviously, the mod prices in this are a lot cheaper because it is just, I'm literally just using mods to do it. So, it literally cost me nothing. So, yeah. There we are for the build. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I did do the mad builds and then I'm rejuvenating myself hopefully with that clean build at the end there. But anyway guys, that is pretty much all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please do leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more. And if you'd like to see the Savestra crossed with the Banshee as sort of like an RX-7 RX-3 cross, let me know down in the comments. And remember, we need to hit like 1,000 likes in this video and I'll go and do it. So anyway guys, that's pretty much all for this video. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next one.